how do I learn this question? So the other day, I was standing around outside, and a bird landed on my shoulder. I don't know what kind of bird it was, but it could talk. And it asked me a question, and I thought it was pretty good. And it asked, do you agree with the statement that you should never meet your heroes?
I would say yes, I do.
Yeah.
Like the risk-benefit analysis of that situation is you have pretty much only down to go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's probably not gonna make it better. It's probably gonna be maybe the same.
Yeah.
Like best case is the same, and every worst case is worse than that.
There's no lesson you learn from it, though.
Yeah.
Even if it's bad.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like it'd be an important lesson.
Don't people don't have heroes.
Yeah.
Don't have heroes.
Don't get your hopes.
Your
Yeah.
expectations are always going to be skyrocketed with your hero. I think the word never, though, is kind of my issue with that statement.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say never.
I've heard like interviewers, like people like radio and TV stuff, and they'll say there's certain people that they don't want to meet for that reason. Like I have the person on a pedestal that I know if I meet them, is never going to meet up to it.
Right.
I just don't ever want to ever meet them.
You never know what their reaction's going to be when you meet them. You know, you don't know if they're busy, what they have going on, if they're being rushed out. You know, you never know. So like you may take a bad taste with that you didn't actually get to like interact with them how you wanted to, even though it's like not even like their fault.
That's possible too.
Yeah.
So now you didn't get to do what you wanted to do, and you're disappointed.
That's why the risk is way.
Yeah.
The risk is too great.
Yeah. And I just assume that they're all putting on. I'm just assuming, and it may not even be the truth, but I just assume that everyone is kind of putting on a fake persona. That is not really them off camera in a personable setting.
But like all of us, often try to put our best foot forward.
Yeah,
so you know you're on camera.
Yeah, you know you're on camera, and then when you're off, you just feel like sitting quietly or watching TV.
Right. I just think of like just think about like the people that are like on those like daily news morning TV shows and how on camera they just look so like nice and you know, and you'll never think of like, but then you hear that they get fired over something like raunchy that they said or something that was like totally like off color or off putting, and you're like, wow, that came from them, and then you remember like, oh,
they're human.
They're human. You know,
most of them are nice. Like, because I don't think if you're going to be on camera multiple hours a day, I don't think it's sustainable to not be close to what's on there.
Yeah,
that catches you eventually, as some of these D-bags have learned. It catches you eventually.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean you always feel like even the nicest person doesn't always feel like talking.
Exactly. I don't know. I don't know. I'd be afraid of how I would. I don't know. I almost kind of like want to avoid it. Like I almost don't. I mean, it'd be nice to meet some of my favorite artists or celebrities and stuff like that. But sometimes I'm like, maybe it's a good thing I haven't, because I just don't want to be disappointed. You know, because these are people that like I looked up to my whole life. They've had some sort of influence on
Sammy
me.
Sosa.
Sammy Sosa.
Let's go have a drink.
Yeah, like that would be hard to say no to. But if he's asking me to, hey, you want to go with a drink, then that's telling me that okay, he is a nice person. Okay,
that's true.
You know, if he's saying that, but like,
that seems a bit far-fetched.
What if you see what if I see Sylvester Stallone at the airport and he absolutely wants nothing to do with me, and you said, hey, buddy, get the heck out of my way. Mm-hmm. You know, that would change my perception of him forever. And
it would.
I would never think of him the same, and then that would just ruin any memory I had of watching his movies and stuff. It would just ruin it.
So that's why I say no for the heroes. I don't really have any heroes. Yeah, but I would say no. The risk is too great.
Yeah, it really is, because you know, I feel like you spend so much of your childhood idolizing people without even knowing who they really are. You just have this persona that they put on in your mind that, you know, it would be disappointing to see.
On the flip side, too, I bet a lot of those people are aware of that, too.
Yeah.
They know, you hear them on interviews, people have stories of, you got me through this, or, someone died, or we got divorced, or I lost a kid, these horrible things. I'm you were that movie that I binge-watched when I was going through. So, I think a lot of these people know the pedestals they're on. And just like a lot of, I don't think I'm on a pedestal to anybody, but I think it would be hard to for them, even if they tried, to live up to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because they're like, we're just a regular person.
Yeah.
I went to work that day and made a movie, and then I went home.
Yeah. I feel like it would just be so, because like what would you even talk about? Because like I know like me, like I love my job, but like that doesn't mean I want people coming up to me and talking to me about it. I don't want someone coming up to me on Saturday at the gym like, hey Ben, what about that post you made the other day?
And I bet it's almost always the same thing too, like
Yeah.
from some like a hit movie or something like that. Yeah, some line like Macaulay Culkin, all the time,
or
30 years,
or where they're asking them to do it. Hey, like Macaulay Culkin, can you do this for me with my son in a picture?
Yeah.
No. Wow.
All day, every day. Matthew Broderick one time, it was when John Hughes died. So like, and because of you, for every day for 30 years, someone has said to me, Ferris Bueller, you're my hero.
Nice.
It's weird to think about something like that.
It really
you know,
is.
every day you're going to hear that in public. Every time you leave your house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like just like the kid from the Sandlot? He was you're killing me, Smalls.
Yep, one line.
He had a whole TikTok on this, how he was like so sick and tired of people asking him to say that, and he was like, I say other things too, guys. I don't.
Because
say that.
exactly. They get boiled down to like one line from one iconic scene in one movie.
Yeah,
and you've done. You're as a person, you're much more than that one particular thing you did. And there were kids too. What are they, like 10 years old when they did that movie?
Yeah.
In a box.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know. I'd be afraid of how like.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
What do I even say to them and stuff like that? And like, is it insulting that I don't acknowledge who they are? But am I coming off as too much of a fan? Whatever. If I'm like, I don't know. I feel like the anxiety part alone.
You just gotta have a game plan going into it.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, like you gotta have a conversation. I think you just be like, hey, I like what you did there, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then that's.
I mean, keep it going.
I was like, it's hard to mess up anything there.
Yeah.
You hear these, like I started following like Howard Stern online, all these interviews and stuff, a large catalog of interviews, and some of them will say like it's kind of you recognize somewhere and like, are you that guy? Like, yeah, I'm that guy. And I always thought it would be weird to be in a situation routinely knowing like that like you're that guy. Like someone lingers eyes and you're like, yeah, that's Matt Damon.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. What is it? Don't they have a thing on whatever wherever they go, people always think that they're the other person.
It's Matt Damon and Mark Wahlberg.
Oh,
they
is
get
it?
confused all the time and have like an agreement to say, yeah, thank you.
Isn't it easier just to say that you are whoever they think you are?
And maybe that's the reason. Is like we don't want to.
For one, it's easier, and it saves a lot of like embarrassing like minutes
Yeah.
within that. So I think they are truly like nice people.
I think they are.
I think they are. At least they come off that way. So I think they are truly nice. They're probably like saving face for their fan.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. I think why they do that sometimes.
But no, I don't think I'd ever want to. I don't think if someone said like, "Who's your hero?" I don't think I have any. But I would like to meet celebrities, but I think it would probably be they're a lot more like you than you think.
Yeah, I would like the off chance of just accidentally running into them, not purposely, whatever. But I would never purposely seek. I would never go stand in line or go wait at an airport or a bus line for a celebrity to come out. Like, I just would not want to do that.
I'm so oblivious to people in public. I probably would never know.
I've heard that too. Like when they're not dressed a certain way or like hair and makeup, they're hard to recognize. What was it? Wasn't it Henry Cavill? When Superman came out, like he did like selfies, him walking around Times Square. I'm like, don't even recognize him. Like there's this huge like poster, billboard thing. Like, dude, don't even recognize them.
I think about that with athletes, like baseball players, outside of their uniform, especially.
Would you know who they are?
Or even hockey players, because
that's even worse.
Because they're smaller than how they look.
Yeah, and because they're on skates, they have a helmet generally, or some sort of helmet, whether it's like they're covered up, and they wear like. They have dentures or whatever, fake false teeth. Yeah. When they're off the ice. So
you like that. These athletes are that way. Yeah.
When you take somebody out of the situation, would you know?
Right. I probably.
You might be like, wait, could that be? Is that be? Maybe that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's such a weird thing. It's possible that we have probably seen famous people up close. No idea who they were. Didn't pay them any mind.
Probably true.
Also, I'm kind of shy, so I don't really like would never. I wouldn't know what to do or what to say
Yeah.
or whatever.
And especially now that a lot of them have like some sort of like social media presence, and they document almost everything. So like you by going up to them just might end up in you landing on their Instagram feed or their TikTok
Right.
feed, and like I don't want to be that. I don't want to be in
I don't want to be
public.
that person.
Exactly. So anyway, so yeah, I would not want to meet my heroes.
It's a no for me.
It's a no for me
No, I
too.
don't want to either, but I'm sure there's some scenarios where it's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't have any, so.
Yeah. All right. Well, there we have it.
Because I suppose your hero could not be a celebrity. It could be
I'm really glad that bird